Hello. Words you need advanced lesson 9. So this is advanced vocabulary, but if your English is really good, then perhaps many of these words are already in your passive vocabulary. So you understand them when you hear them or when you're reading a text, but perhaps they're not in your active vocabulary yet. And that's what we're trying to do on this course. We're trying to add these words to your active vocabulary. So make sure that you repeat them after me. It's really important to say all the words to get them into your active vocabulary. You need to get used to saying them, to pronouncing them. So while you're watching, if you can, try to repeat everything after me. All right, let's go. The first word in this lesson is number 401. Кризис ускорил упадок компании. Ускорил. The crisis accelerated the company's decline. And it should be companies with an apostrophe. There's also a phrasal verb. The crisis sped up the company's decline. So we can say to accelerate, we can say to speed up. And in a car, if it's a car with manual transmission, then there are 3 pedals. There is the A pedal, the accelerator pedal, there is the B pedal, the brake pedal, and the C pedal, which is the clutch. So we use the clutch for changing gears, obviously the brake pedal for braking, and the accelerator pedal for accelerating. Remember pronunciation, accelerator, the stress is on the second syllable, so what do? We make the S really long. Accelerator, accelerate, accelerate. Okay, next one. У компании очень мало физических активов. So, активы. What's активы? The company has very few physical assets. It's assets. So, when we talk about a company, an organization, we often talk about assets. They can be physical assets, but you can also speak about human assets. And you can say, she is an asset to the community. So she's a valuable person in the community. He is an asset to the team. He's a valuable person in the team. All right, next one. Он говорил смело. He spoke boldly. So to be bold, actually, by the way, I'm not bold, I'm bald. I'm bald. That's Lisi. He's bold. On смелый. Of course, you can also say he's brave. He's brave. He's bold. If you're bold, I don't know if the right word is maybe there's a little bit of naglость in being bold. It's и смело, и чуть-чуть еще наглым. Вот. Bold. To be bold. If you're bold, you do something that stands out from the crowd. It's something a bit unusual. And maybe that's why we also use the word bold when we talk about type or fonts. So переведите слова, выделенные жирным шрифтом, is translate the words in bold type. So жирный шрифт is bold type because it stands out. And if somebody acts boldly or speaks boldly, they're brave and they stand out from the crowd. All right, let's look at the next word. Попробуйте эти методы, чтобы повысить свою производительность. Повысить. In this context, try these techniques to boost your productivity. That's interesting. So I use голосовой ввод текста, voice typing. And I said, try these. And voice typing wrote Chinese, which is quite funny. Try these, Chinese. Apparently they sound similar. That is quite funny. Anyway, if you're using voice typing, then you probably have some stories like that when you said one thing and it wrote something completely different. Anyway, it's supposed to be try these techniques to boost your productivity, to give it a boost. I wonder what other things can be boosted. Let's just have a look at collocates and see which nouns are often found either side of the word boost. Let's see. So yeah, we can often talk about it was a boost to the economy. Literally, if you say to somebody, give me a boost, usually they put their feet in your hands and you boost them, you push them up. So a boost pushes somebody up. A child seat is called a booster seat in the car because it makes them higher. So a boost pushes something up. Maybe if you drink Red Bull, it will give you an energy boost. Or perhaps a different training routine will boost your performance. Not new steel performance. Boost your performance. Boost it. Push it up. Boost. All right, let's look at the next one. Посмотрите на диаграмму на странице 42. Look at the chart on page 42. So, a chart, it can be a type of diagram. A chart. Remember, English ch, it's more like Russian I. To sh, ch, than Russian ch. Chart. Chart on page 42. So try to make the sh a bit longer. Chart. Look at the chart. And the word chart can also be used as a verb. Мы нарисовали курс корабля через океан. You can say, we charted the ship's course across the ocean. To chart something is like нарисовать, to put it onto a chart, into a diagram. We have the word diagram too. A diagram, a chart. For me, a diagram in English, a diagram is more like a picture, whereas a chart is lines, like lines and numbers. So I guess that diagramma, it's not always a diagram. Perhaps search for charts. Do a Google image search for charts. See what you get, and that should give you an idea of how we use the word. In general, actually, image searches are quite good ways to understand the way that a word is used. So yeah, of course you can use a dictionary, but especially for nouns, it's often good to use an image search. So think about that. The next one. Этот аппарат отслеживает мозговую активность. Отслеживает. This machine monitors brain activity. So, отслеживает, it could be, this machine tracks brain activity. I think they're more or less the same, but to monitor, to me, it feels a little bit more visual. If you monitor something, you keep an eye on it. Whereas if you track something, you follow it. But it's not exactly about watching. So maybe отслеживает в смысле наблюдает, to monitor. I wonder what else do we often monitor? Let's have a look. A computer monitor is monitor. You know, it's the screen. You can monitor someone's progress. You keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on their progress. Monitor the heart rate. Keep an eye on the heart rate. So to monitor, to keep an eye on. Next one. О, мне нравится твой наряд. I love your outfit. Let's look at some adjectives that are often used before outfit. I've got a new outfit. I'm not sure whether naryad is the best word for this, but an outfit is, it's your hat and your top and your bottoms and your shoes together. It's the whole look, basically. Oh, that's a perfect outfit for the wedding. Nice. Outfit. An outfit. Okay, let's look at the next word. It's a tricky word to pronounce, this one. Мои надежды на успех висели... Мои надежды на успех висели на волоске. My hopes of success were hanging by a thread. I'm not sure if thread is always волосок. I think it's also nitka. Let's look what you get a thread of. And you can decide if волосок or nitka is a better translation. A thread of hope. A thread of life. Maybe you know from, I think it's Greek mythology. I remember it from cartoons, where you have somebody who's going to cut the thread of life. I think in the film about Hercules, the Grim Reaper tries to cut the thread of life, and they can't. It doesn't work. The scissors don't work. So a thread of life. You can also talk about a comments thread. That's on the internet what goes below a post. You get a comments thread. So that's another use of this word. There's also a thread of light. Oh, it didn't understand me. A thread of light. Something very, very thin. And sometimes if I'm talking and then I kind of lose my way, I say, I've lost my thread. And that doesn't mean я потерял свою нитку. It means I had a thread and then I lost it. And I can't remember what I was talking about or where I was going. So, thread. Next one. Он любитель острых ощущений. He's a thrill seeker. Because thrill, when you pronounce the th, remember to try to bite the outside, the sides of your tongue. Thrill. He's a thrill seeker. Because thrill, if something's thrilling, it's like this, it's really exciting. It's a really positive feeling. Острые позитивные ощущения. Положительные ощущения. So, thrilled can just mean really happy. Я был очень рад получить приглашение. I was thrilled to get an invitation. In this word, try to hold the L. Thrill. It's a dark L that we pronounce in the throat. Thrilled. I was thrilled. Thrilled. Don't stress the I. Thrilled. It's a long L. Thrilled. I was thrilled. Oh, so happy. Thrilled. To get an invitation. Thrilled. The next word. Тихий океан огромен. The Pacific Ocean is vast. Oh, here I say vast because I'm from the north of England. People from the south of England say the Pacific Ocean is vast. Not the specification. The Pacific Ocean is vast. Vast are vast. Vast, vast. This word is constantly used to describe Russia. Russia is a vast country. Vast. And we also use this word as an adverb. Мы были в значительном меньшинстве. You can say, we were vastly outnumbered. Vastly. I wonder what other phrases, what other adjectives are often used after vastly. Oh yeah, vastly superior. We were vastly superior to our opponent. Or like to the other team. My team was much better. We were vastly superior. The team is vastly improved this season. Like enormously. Намного лучше. So it's a nice formal way to say намного. Vastly. Okay, the next one. Not the next one, because that was the 10th one. So, the lesson's divided into groups of 10 words, and I recommend that after each 10, you press pause, you take a little break, you review the words so that it's not too much, and perhaps come back later. Also, there is a full version of the course, and if you buy the full version, then you can do tasks on my website, hopkinsenglish.com, to practice these words, which I think will be very useful for you. So, if you've got full access to the course, then go and do those tasks. If not, just press pause, review the words, and then watch the second part of the lesson. Part 2. Мне нравится минусовка. Minusovka is the backing track. I love the backing track. And let's have a look at the other words that sometimes come after backing. She did backing vocals. So you have the main singer and you have the backing vocals. He's in the backing band. Again, that goes behind the main singers. So backing track is also there. So if something is a backing something, it always supports. So кандидат заручился поддержкой высокопоставленных лиц в партии. The candidate secured the backing of senior figures in the party. So to get someone's backing means to get someone's support. If I back somebody, I give them my support. Next one. Часто дешевле покупать оптом. If we're talking about оптом, the word is bulk. It's often cheaper to buy in bulk. Buy something in bulk. You can make, let's have a look at some other bulk phrases. So you can talk about bulk orders. You can talk about bulk purchases, bulk quantities. So bulk, it means we're talking about оптом, bulk. I think the opposite is retail, which is розничный, and then bulk. If it's оптом, оптовый, I think that's the Russian word. Anyway, the next one. Трое солдат были взяты в плен. Взяты в плен. 3 soldiers were captured. So pronunciation here, we have a T-U-R-E, which is a ch. Captured. 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 Just say ch. It's a ch. They were captured. What other things get captured? Let's have a look at nouns, which are often found either side of this word. Oops, I forgot to click nouns. So I should try this. But it still kind of works. I want to capture your attention. Like захватить внимание. This video was captured with my mobile phone. These images were captured using a remote camera. So as you can see, you can capture images, videos. You can also, I want to capture the essence of this feeling. Or суть, capture the essence. So the poem, it really captures the essence of this phenomenon, for example. So to capture something. So it's not only about взятие в плен. It's this захватить что-нибудь, поймать, capture. Next one. Эта тема не является частью нашей учебной программы. Учебная программа is a curriculum. This topic is not part of our curriculum. Curriculum. Let's look at the next word. Зимы на севере суровые. Суровые. Суровый климат. Winters in the north are harsh. When you pronounce this word, make sure that your mouth is open. You need to harsh, not harsh, harsh. It doesn't work if you don't open your mouth. Harsh, harsh. So we can use the word harsh to talk about climate, about weather. Also, to talk about treatments, punishments. На мой взгляд, наказание было излишне суровым. In my opinion, the punishment was unnecessarily harsh. And remember, double sound, harsh, harsh, harsh. Let's just look at some other things that can be harsh. Oops. Oh, I clicked the wrong button there. Let's go back. Harsh. Harsh. Then nouns. Let's have a look. So you can talk about harsh words, which is maybe more like жесткие, I think. Harsh reality. I guess that's суровая реальность. Harsh conditions. Суровые, условия, something like that. Harsh criticism. That phrase is also used a lot. And then harsh winter, harsh weather. It's also there. Harsh punishment, also there. So, harsh. And there's the adverb, она резко поговорила со мной. She spoke harshly to me. So, you could say it's not the opposite of kindly, but it's close. She spoke harshly, she spoke cruelly. It's a similar idea. Right, the next word, 416. Анестетик вводится непосредственно в кровоток. Вводится anesthetic. The anesthetic is injected directly into the bloodstream. Voice typing worked. Cool. So to inject something. I think you can say injekция in Russian, can't you? So this is quite easy. Inject. Injected. It's injected. I had an injection today. Means they injected me with something. Inject, injection. The next one, семья жертвы была уведомлена. The victim's family has been notified. So if your phone is in English, then I'm sure you know the word notifications. Because every time you download an app, it says, this app would like to send you notifications. Уведомление. So to notify, notifications. Notify, the stress is on the first syllable. Notify, don't forget that there is that no is pronounced notified. Notifications, it's on the notificate, fourth syllable. Notify, notifications. Notify, notifications. The next one is моя девушка танцует на шесте. My girlfriend does pole dancing. Pole, we also use the word pole to talk about the North Pole. And also Polish people. They're also called Poles. Poles. When you pronounce this word, just remember pole rhymes with bowl, and it has a lot of W in it. Pole. Pole. The main sound in this word is the W sound. You've got to hold it. Pole. Just then a little L at the end. Pole. Pole. Lots of W when you say pole. Pole. Okay, the next one. У нас достаточно припасов, чтобы продержаться еще 3 недели. Of course, you can say we have enough supplies, but let's use a more advanced word. We have sufficient supplies to last another 3 weeks. Sufficient, or there's a verb as well. Our supplies suffice for another 3 weeks. I think I should add the word will there. Will suffice. Sometimes if you want somebody to stop, это достаточно. That will suffice. That's a very formal way to say это достаточно. Let's have a quick look at the nouns that are often used after the word sufficient. So there wasn't sufficient evidence to convict the suspect. So that will be недостаточно доказательства. Or we can talk about I didn't have sufficient time to complete the task. So sufficient, sufficient. And the opposite is insufficient. Sufficient, insufficient. And number 420, so the last word in this second part of the lesson. Он хочет расторгнуть, I don't know, свой контракт. He wants to terminate his contract. Расторгнуть контракт is to terminate a contract, although they're not the only things that get terminated. Let's see what else can be terminated. Let's have a look. So an abortion is called a termination sometimes. So you can terminate a pregnancy, also terminate a contract, terminate an agreement, terminate your employment somewhere. So there are some things that can be terminated. You may know the film Terminator. Well, the Terminator terminated people's lives. I think that must be where it comes from. To terminate. And мне поставили диагноз неизлечимая болезнь. That's a terminal illness. I was diagnosed with a terminal illness. Terminal. And also, stay on the bus until the terminus. What? Not determinist. Try again. You should stay on the bus until you reach the terminus. That's better. The terminus is the last stop on the line. The terminus. Right, that's another set of 10. So, press pause. You can take a break, maybe have a little drink, review the words, and then come back. We'll look at some more words together. Part 3, number 421. Наши интересы совпадают. Our interests are aligned. Oops, try again. Our interests are aligned. In this word aligned, try to get a lot of y. Aligned. Aligned. That will sound more natural. Not just aligned. Aligned. They're aligned. Aligned. Our interests are aligned. Very good. Совпадают. The next one. Мы должны помочь нашим союзникам. Союзники, allies. We must help our allies. Again, lots of y in this one. Ally, and then a little z at the end. Allies. Allies. Hold the y. Hold the y. That will sound more natural. It's not just allies like Russian I. Allies. Allies. We must help our allies. If a country is an ally, you can say they're in an alliance. So NATO is it's the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and it is a military alliance. So countries in NATO, they are military allies. Allies. Союзники. The next word, this really is advanced vocabulary. С балок свисала паутина. So you imagine you're in the loft and there are these balki with pautini. I don't want it to be webs, I want it to be cobwebs, actually. Cobwebs hung from the beams. What? Home? What? Cobwebs hung from the beams. Got it this time. They hung from the beams. So a beam is this long, straight thing. It can be made of wood, but it doesn't have to be made of wood. Because you can have a lot of other kinds of beams as well. Okay, let's have a look at some other kinds of beams. What do we get? You can have a light beam. It's long, straight. A laser beam. Same idea. It's straight. A flashlight beam. Straight. A narrow beam. If it's narrow. So beams, they're not only wooden, they can also be light. And there's also the adjective to beam. Она просияла от восторга. She beamed with delight. Let's try again. She beamed with delight. There we go. Beamed. Просияла. Next. Ученые, работающие над термоядерным синтезом, на прошлой неделе добились прорыва. That's the word we want. Прорыв. Scientists working on nuclear fusion achieved a breakthrough last week. So, прорыв is a breakthrough. Remember, when words consist of two words, compound nouns, the stress is on the first one. Breakthrough. Breakthrough. So when if you want to stress break, lots of r, not a lot of a. It needs to be clipped before the k. Breakthrough. Lots of r. You need lots of r. Breakthrough. They achieved a breakthrough. Прорыв. The next word. Эти специи усиливают вкус. There is a word strengthen, but there's a better word. These spices enhance the flavour. They enhance the flavour. What other things can be enhanced? Let's have a quick look. Enhance. We'll need nouns before and after. I think usually it's about sensors. Enhanced techniques. That means not the simple techniques, the advanced or the enhanced ones. You can talk about enhanced features, which to be honest is like another way to talk about advanced features, to be honest. Enhanced features, advanced features, it's quite similar really. And a lot of these, an enhanced, like we want to deliver an enhanced user experience. If it's enhanced, it's deeper, the feelings are stronger. It's always about something being basically improved, enhanced. In general, if you can use the word, I want to enhance my skills, I want to improve my skills, the meaning's pretty close. enhance. Okay. Next one. Из окон открывается великолепный вид на горы. Великолепный. Obviously, there are many ways to say великолепный, but in this context, magnificent. The views of the mountains are magnificent. It's not really in this context, I would say in this case. The word I had in mind was magnificent. Here, I want to talk about stress. The Russian way to stress a word would be magnificent. Lots of vowel, but don't do that. Magnificent, lots of n. Magnificent. If you really want to stress a syllable, stretch the consonant. Magnificent. Magnificent. The next one. Первые поселенцы процветали в Австралии. The early settlers prospered in Australia. They prospered, процветали. Его правление было временем мира и процветания. His reign was a time of peace and prosperity. Obviously here we are not talking about дождь. Good. The computer understood in the end. I didn't have to change it manually. His reign was a time of peace and prosperity. Процветание, prosperity. I know Russians love to wish people things. Я желаю вам удачи, успеха, процветания. I wish you health and prosperity is a nice wish for somebody. I wish you health and prosperity. In all that you do, I wish you to prosper. Процветать. Next. Зрители наблюдали за происходящим в I can't say it. Ошеломленном. I don't know. Anyway, молчании. The audience watched in stunned silence. If you're stunned, you can't move. There's something called a stun gun, which uses electricity to stun you. So if you're stunned, you are so shocked and surprised that you can't move. Now that might sound like a bad thing. However, stunning is very good. Невеста выглядела сногсшибательно. The bride looked stunning. Stunning. It's interesting. The bride looked shocking means она выглядела ужасно. So shocking means really bad, but stunning means really, really good, really beautiful. And if we put stunning here before nouns, we'll see probably some things that are often beautiful. Stunning for a noun. For example, stunning views. They're so good that they stun you. A stunning victory. Великолепная победа. A stunning success. Невероятный успех. Stunning. It's very positive when something is stunning. The next one is это самый лучший садовый инструмент из всех. Просто самый лучший. This is the ultimate garden tool. No, not card tool. Try again. This is the ultimate garden tool. That's better. It's the ultimate. Just the best. There's nothing better. The ultimate. In fact, ultimate, I think the root of this word comes from the last. So, в конечном счете наши усилия оказались напрасными. Ultimately, our efforts were in vain. Ultimately, в конечном счете. I also speak Spanish, and última in Spanish means the last. So there's this root of the last thing. Ultimately. And I think if it's the ultimate garden tool, you don't need to make any more garden tools because This is the ultimate one, the last that needs to be made because it's so good. Ultimate. Okay, the last word in this part of the lesson. La última. У нас не было другого выбора, кроме как отозвать наше предложение. Отозвать. We had no choice but to withdraw our offer. This word withdraw was used a lot in the 19th century. So if you read 19th century literature, you see this word constantly. And there's also this phrase, the drawing room. And for a long time I wondered why it was called the drawing room. So in all aristocratic houses, there was a drawing room. I thought, why? Tam же ничего не рисуют. But it's called the drawing room because people would withdraw to the drawing room, which means like to go away to the drawing room. So it's drawing from this withdraw, not from рисовать. Withdraw our offer is to take it away. So withdraw, something's always going away. Withdraw. And она объявила о своем выходе из партнерства. Выход. She announced her withdrawal from the partnership. Or withdrawal. It can be two syllables. Withdrawal, withdrawal. I think withdrawal is better, actually. Withdrawal, two syllables. Her withdrawal from the partnership. Withdrawal, withdraw. And that's another set of 10 words. So, do take a break and press pause. Have a drink. And then come back. We'll look at another set of 10 words. Let's proceed to the next set of 10. Это сильная кислота. Кислота is acid. This is a strong acid. Acid. And эта вода слегка кисловатая. This water is mildly acidic. So maybe the most interesting thing here is that acid, the stress is on the a, but acidic, the stress is on the sid, or the si, I should say. Acid, acidic. Acid, acidic. I think this is a direct translation to Russian, so there's no more to say. Он выполнил свой долг перед своей страной. What, долг перед страной? He did his duty to his country. Duty. It's what you know you need to do. But there is, if we talk about duty, there is an option. You know, it's not exactly an obligation. You need to choose to do it every day. So you can still give somebody credit for doing it. So, yes, you're supposed to do it. It is expected of you, but you still need to choose to do it. So you're not forced to do your duty, but you should. You're expected to do your duty. Выполнить свой долг. It's always an action to do your duty. And if somebody does their duty, we say, he is a dutiful father. Haha, beautiful. Try again. He is a dutiful father. He is a dutiful man. Oh, I can't do it. It's beautiful every time. He does his duty. Full stop. He is very beautiful. Beautiful. Impossible. You try it. Try голосовой ввод текста, voice typing. See if you can write beautiful. The word is dutiful. Like that. Dutiful. Maybe if I do it in an American accent. He's a dutiful man. No, Still beautiful. Impossible. Never mind. Let's look at the next one. Она подбежала к нему, и они обнялись. 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 She ran to him, and they embraced. To embrace. Обняться. And actually, we don't only use the word embrace literally for обняться. You can also say, we embraced change. I guess that doesn't translate as обняться, but I wonder what it could translate. Принять. But it's not, it's like принять. No, не просто принять. You know, you accept it gladly if you embrace something. Let's have a quick look at other things that can be embraced. Embrace, we'll need, collocates, nouns. Change, life would be, she embraced her new life. They embraced this new idea. So to embrace is to accept something gladly. The next one. Она явно была расстроена. She was evidently upset. It was obvious. It was evident that she was upset. This comes from the word evidence, doesn't it? Like доказательство. Evidently upset. The next one. Мой муж никогда не заводит разговор сам. Or никогда не инициирует разговор. My husband never initiates conversation. Just be careful when you pronounce this word. Initiate. Inish. The I is clipped. So yeah, initiates. But the n is long. Initiates conversation. Initiates. He never takes the initiative. Initiate, initiative. Useful words. The next one, is никто не сомневается в вашей честности. Nobody doubts your integrity. But честность, it could be honesty. So honesty, integrity. What's the difference? Well, honesty is only about what you say. So do you tell the truth or do you lie? That's honesty. Integrity is about who you are. So are you really the person you pretend to be? If somebody has integrity, then they really are the person they pretend to be. They don't only talk the talk, full stop. They also walk the walk. Not talk to talk. So people with integrity, they walk the walk. They are the person who they pretend to be. Next one. Мой брат морской офицер. My brother is a naval officer. He's a naval officer. He's in the Navy. That's flot. When you pronounce this word, just remember lots of y. Naval, before the voiced v. Navy, the same. Navy, naval, navy, naval, navy. Lots of y in this word. 438. Кто-нибудь возражает против моего плана? Does anybody object to my plan? So you can oppose or you can object to. Slightly different. Does anybody oppose my plan? So if you oppose, so I oppose it, I act against it. But I object to it just means I am against it. So to object to is an opinion, whereas to oppose is more active than to object. But the meanings are very close. Никто не высказал никаких возражений. Nobody made any objections. There were no objections. But какова ваша цель? What is your objective? Now, there is the word объективный, the adjective. He can't be objective because he has his own objective. So there's the adjective, objective, and the noun. Он не может быть объективным, потому что у нее есть свои цели или свой цель. He can't be objective because he has his own objective. So I object to his appointment as chairman. Something like that. So interesting how we use this word object, objectives. Let's look at the next one. Объем промышленного производства в прошлом году снизился. Industrial output declined last year. Output. The stress is on the first part of the word. Output. Output. What other types of output are there? Let's have a look. Something output. We can talk about economic output, power output, energy output, industrial output, etc. And let's look at the next one. Дельфин изо всех сил пытался высвободиться из сети. The dolphin struggled to free itself from the net. So to struggle, this verb struggle, maybe it's not a nice image, but if you imagine a dolphin doing, that's what struggling looks like. Struggling is when you're изо всех сил пытаться, стараться. It's good translation. Struggling. And if we say he's struggling at school, it gives the idea он старается, но не получается. That's struggling. Когда стараешься, но не получается. У него проблемы? Yeah, okay. It's not the best translation. He's struggling. I'm struggling to understand your point. Like, I'm trying to understand it, but I can't. I can't understand what you're trying to say. I'm struggling to understand it. And when you pronounce it, just remember, when it's at t-r, you need a nice sh in there. Struggling. Struggle. It's all about the sh at the beginning, and then the it almost disappears. Struggle. Struggle. Struggling to understand your point. That's another set of 10. So if you like, press pause, but if not, feel free to stay with me and I'll talk about the last 10 words in this lesson. Moving on, 441. Угрюмость – типичное поведение подростков. Moodiness is typical adolescent behavior. So, подростки, they are adolescents. The next one. Я решительно отверг обвинение в расизме. I strongly denied the allegation of racism. Now this one got me thinking, what's the difference between an accusation and an allegation? I strongly denied the accusation of racism. And I think an accusation is when somebody accuses me to my face. So an accusation is direct. Whereas an allegation, maybe somebody writes about me in a newspaper. So they don't direct it at me, but they say somewhere else that I have done something wrong. So an allegation is indirect, whereas an accusation is direct. So here, его предполагаемые связи с мафией так и не были доказаны. So this means that somewhere people say he's linked to the mafia. Maybe they don't say it to his face, but they say it somewhere. His alleged links to the mafia have never been proven. Let's change it to his alleged links. What other things can be alleged? Alleged nouns. Let's have a quick look. For example, the alleged victim of rape. So before the trial, it's an alleged victim because we don't know if it really happened or not. You can talk about alleged abuse and alleged assault, alleged violations. Before a trial, it's important to use the word alleged every time because nothing has been proven yet. So you have to use the word alleged, otherwise people can say that they can accuse you of libel. So, alleged. Она якобы наняла убийцу, чтобы убить своего бывшего. She allegedly hired an assassin to kill her ex. Allegedly. This is, still about alleged. Allegedly. But it's not been proven yet. Next one. У корабля огромный якорь. Якорь is an anchor. The ship has an enormous anchor. And anchor is also a verb. There is a tanker anchored in the bay. В бухте. Anchored in the bay. The next one. Он дал исчерпывающее объяснение. Where is the stress on that word? I don't know. He gave a comprehensive explanation. It's comprehensive. It includes everything. What else can be? Comprehensive. A comprehensive. We need to make a comprehensive plan. We want to conduct a comprehensive review. We drew up a comprehensive list. So comprehensive includes everything. I think the opposite might be patchy. He gave a patchy explanation. He gave an incomplete explanation. So patchy, incomplete, but comprehensive includes everything. However, его речь непонятна. His speech is incomprehensible. It also has this comprehend in it because to comprehend means to understand. I can't comprehend what he's saying. It's a synonym of to understand. I can't understand. I can't comprehend. Now, I think непонятно we say incomprehensible because ununderstandable is not a word. You can't say ununderstandable. Sounds too weird. So we use the synonym comprehensible, incomprehensible. The next one. Работники фермы весь день трудились в полях. Трудиться. The farm workers laboured all day in the fields. No, not labelled. That's not what they do. Try again. The farm workers laboured all day in the fields. Got it, second time. To labour, трудиться. They laboured. In England, we have two political parties. The Conservative Party. Traditionally, that was the party of the landowners. The Labour Party, that was the party of the working class. Now it's changed, really, and the Labour Party don't necessarily represent the working class anymore, but traditionally they represented the labourers, the workers, because labour is about труд. The next word, Bhutan. Есть такая страна. Bhutan преимущественно буддистская страна. Преимущественно. Bhutan is a predominantly Buddhist country. It's predominantly. And I'm interested to know what other adjectives are often used after predominantly. It is a predominantly white town. That means most people in the town are white. It's a predominantly male occupation. Most people who do it are male. Predominantly. So predominantly is always about the majority. Преимущественно. The next one. Он известный местный businessman. Could be famous, but no. He is a prominent local businessman. And there's also a noun, prominence. Она стала известной 5 лет назад. She rose to prominence 5 years ago. And if we put in prominent, let's see, not adjectives. Try again. Prominent with nouns. He played a prominent role. If something is prominent, it's very visible. It sticks out. He's a prominent member of the community. He's well known and he's visible. People see him, know about him. Prominent. The next one. Она перешла в конкурирующую компанию. She moved to a rival company. Try again. She moved to a rival company. There, I had to say it slowly to get the words there. A rival company. Конкурирующая компания. They are our greatest rivals. For example, we might say Manchester United and Manchester City are rivals. Rivals. Or Spartak and CSKA are rivals. Obviously, I can't write CSKA like that. CSKA Moscow are rivals. There we go. Another use of rivals. Stalin устранял своих соперников. Stalin eliminated his rivals. Rival. Hold the r. Rivals. Rivals. The next one. 449. This is the penultimate word, предпоследний, the penultimate. Президент еще не назначил преемника. The president has not yet appointed a successor. Because, okay, you know the verb to succeed, like to have success, успех. But To succeed also means to follow into a position of authority. So to follow is also successor. My successor is the person who follows me, who succeeds me. And smieniawшие друг друга президенты are successive presidents. Successive presidents have tried and failed to solve this problem. One after the other. Successive. And actually, in a row, you can also say three times in succession is like 3 times in a row. Подряд, in succession. And this is the last word in our lesson today. Она обмотала веревку вокруг дерева. She wound the rope around a tree. So this is the verb to wind. Yes, it looks like wind, but it's not. To wind, and it's wind, wound, wound. Look at my mouth. It's a tricky word to pronounce. W, lips forward. Wa, lips back. Wa, and then back to what again. Wound. W. So it's w, a, w, n, d. Wound. Wound. She wound the rope around a tree. You can also, he wound up the toy. To wind something up. And you can also use this word in this context. Тропинка петляет по холмам. The path winds through the hills. Not winds. Try again. The path winds through the hills. No, I give up. Doesn't work. Winds. Winds. Okay. That's all. Well done for getting to the end of the lesson. I hope it was an interesting one for you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments. Also, please don't forget to give me a like. That will be good. If you haven't subscribed, remember to subscribe. And I hope you'll join me again soon to watch the next lesson. Bye.